Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
So anyways, I got my dog back, but the bouncy castle was a loss.
Wait a second. Who's that? What's that voice? What's that voice we hear?
It's me. I'm back. It's Casey. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's just a dickhead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, episode 200. Ooh, what the hell?
We're still alive.
Let's all do a cheer. Yay! Man, wow. Okay, yeah. And, folks, listen, if you guys didn't already pick out our special surprise secret guest.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up? And then just to take it back to the original lineup, just for this nostalgic episode here, our guests today are our original podcast co-host, Casey Bishop, Hunter Barnard. Welcome back. And then the voice of Beacon House, Eliza Weathers, is here.
To be, if I'm going to be honest, I've been here the whole time.
That's right.
I never left.
Just in the
I've
walls.
been wondering why we never brought you on for the few times I've guessed.
No, I'm not. I'm not even saying that. I've been sitting here holding a mic. Spencer just would never put me off of unmute. I was just muted, and I was like, every time I would speak, he would just go, "Shh, in a second."
It's true, folks. Casey was looming over our shoulders the whole time, just making sure that we put out quality material.
All the nice things I said in our
all the
Godzilla
shit episodes where he was
review.
in the bathroom.
Yeah, I was going to
Wait,
say.
what late night host did that to Matt Damon? Was it Jimmy Kimmel, who would always be like, we have Matt Damon in the back, we're gonna bring, and then in the show and
It
never
was
bring
Kimmel.
Matt.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kimmel and Damon had this big feud. For anybody that's been around with the show for a long time, we hope that you guys appreciate this reunion. We've been kind of secretly planning this for a while.
I'm so excited.
And I also want to give shout out to my current co-host, Grace. Grace couldn't be here today, but she wanted everybody to say thank you for listening for so many episodes, and she's honored to be part of Beacon House.
Is she real?
Grace is indeed real. I think they've met her. In fact, we went to see The Substance together.
Oh, that's right.
Grace the whole time was just Casey in disguise.
All I'm asking is if you see me and Grace in the same room at the same time. I don't
Not
think
yet,
so.
no.
Damn, he's right. He's totally right. But we had actually planned this for a long time about getting the original cast back together. If we made it to episode 200, I mean, who knows, man? I didn't even know how long this was going to go on. And I will say, honestly, there was a point when I thought, man, if we could just get that 200 episodes, I'll probably hang it up. I don't know. At some point, just what is there left to talk about or whatever. But I wasn't also really sure. I just thought 200 was a good round number to shoot for. And I knew that I wanted to have the original people together on episode 200, whether it was the last episode or not.
You don't want to shoot for 250?
Well, the last time we shot for 250, we blew a water main right behind him. That's a Burn the City joke, folks. But I will say this, and let me just, I want to read something real quick. And by the way, I've decided we're going to keep it going until it's time not to. But I did get a message a couple weeks ago from an old friend of mine named Brad. And when I say old friend, I mean this guy, I knew this guy in high school. He was definitely around during my formative years. We listened to a lot of music together. We discovered a lot of life together, whatever. But I've known him for a very, very long time. And he just randomly reached out to me on Facebook Messenger. But he said, "Hey, Spencer, this is Brad. I stopped using Facebook several years ago. Anyway, I wasn't sure how to contact you, but I wanted to say thank you. A couple weeks ago, I was working on paperwork, and YouTube suggested your podcast, So Long 2024. And I typically never finish podcasts, but this time I did." And he said I'd been kind of having an existential crisis for what felt like a couple months, and had found out that, and he's a therapist to children and stuff. He said, a kid I saw for therapy had passed away, and he was kind of in a dark place. And he said he was working to pinpoint exactly what part of the conversation, but something about the conversation I had, and he specifically mentioned Grace, so shout out Grace, but something about our conversation really clicked with him. And he said I think hearing two people genuinely discuss life's challenges associated with anxiety, loss, conflict, and different values really resonated with me. And you both eloquently gave perspective on the value of people and the value of experiences with people. I really needed to hear that. I've been more mindful to go out and do things. And he goes on to say that just the podcast was a real positive thing for him at a particular moment. And he said, you reminded me of how important experiences are. And please tell your friend. I said, thank you. And also thank you. I hope you're doing well. And please keep putting out good content into the world. And I was like, wow, that was, I mean, I haven't probably talked to this guy in 15 years. So that was kind of like the light bulb that went off as an indicator that we're definitely going to keep Beacon House going. So as long as we can, and hopefully you guys can all come back on anytime you want if you have anything to talk about or whatever. Like, we'll do an episode whenever we need to do it. There's not going to be a schedule. But here it is, episode 200. The original guys are here. What do you guys got?
Are you sure that he meant you when he said eloquent?
You know what, Hunter? No, I'm not.
He's the brains of the operation. I mean, let's be honest.
No, it's you, Grace.
Criminy.
I will say, I kind of agree that it's just therapeutic. It's therapeutic to listen to, but it's also therapeutic to do. It's one of the things that I've missed the most is that I could come here once a week or once every 2 weeks and just like unload and talk and like process things out loud to close friends and have like their input on it.
I'll say as someone who mostly just consumes podcasts rather than actually be in them, there's something, like you said, therapeutic about being able to just listen to people's conversations and not have to or feel the pressure to put input into it. I enjoy talking. I like the sound of my own voice, but being able to just like put on a podcast and do my makeup or clean the house, there's something very like, it stimulates that social need in your brain. I don't know. It's really nice.
I do it while doing chores as well. I listen to podcasts.
Same.
That's why Joe Rogan's so big.
I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, and you can learn a lot about like psychology through that as well. And speaking of true crime and horror, you were talking about Nosferatu before we started recording.
Uh-oh.
So I want to hear
get us on
this
track.
Controversial opinion you have, apparently.
Well, look,
Don't tee him up like that. What did you think of the movie?
I saw Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. I remember the very first impression I got is, wow, this is such a good-looking movie.
Yeah.
So beautiful, so elegant. It had all the nostalgia, like you're watching an old Sherlock Holmes film, but teed up to like perfect modern production standards and stuff. The acting, top-notch. I mean, it doesn't have a weak point.
The beautiful transitions from black to white to color.
Gorgeous. Or to that almost like weird washed out, almost like black and white, but it's like blue.
Genuinely stunning.
Stunning. Until
Let's talk about the porn stash.
until you see the fucking monster and he has a fucking Magnum PI mustache
Hey.
from 1975. And who?
Do you need clarity on that?
No.
Can you imagine if he had a Hawaiian shirt on and
Is
like
that, wait, Hunter, didn't you say that's book accurate?
Oh yeah. I understand. It's a period piece.
yeah, no one gives a shit about that though.
Yeah, and you've got this German oligarch, whatever, monster, Australia. I get it. But it just didn't work for me. Every time I saw him, I was like, wait, what is there? This looks like some guy that's out here collecting trash.
My
Like,
uncle has that mustache, though, so it doesn't bother me as much.
But
It's also the side comb over. Like the swishy, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he had the swishy hair.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the movie. I thought it was fantastic.
He looked a little bit... Sorry.
I was just saying, I didn't leave the movie being like, oh boy, I can't wait to go smell the flowers and do fun stuff for the rest of the day. I definitely needed to go take a nap and a shower, but I thought it was
liked
great.
the movie. I just couldn't get past the appearance of the thing. If maybe I just never saw the face, if I had only seen like the image, and I love how it harkened back to like the old 20s Nosferatu with like the long shots and the ominous silhouettes in the hallway and everything, and it had this kind of like cheesy, neat thing going on. And I was, but then you see the thing up close, and I was just like, this is clown shoes. I can't take it.
I want to say I really appreciated the fact that he was not attractive, like traditionally speaking. Like he was very creepy, and in the book he's not.
What
attractive.
do you mean traditionally speaking? He's not attractive in any
He's not a
capacity.
Bela Lugosi or something.
But in the
He's not a Robert Pattinson.
The 1922 Nosferatu wasn't attractive either, right? But he didn't look like some guy running a
It's
sandwich.
like he had bald with elf ears.
He didn't look like he was about to sell you a box of
Right,
mothballs.
right.
Well, that
Yeah,
guy
he
looks
looks
like
more
he's
like a rat.
He looks like he's coming to see if you need more soup.
But like in the books, he's hideous and gross, and he smells bad, and that's like the whole thing is that he's not meant to be.
That's a long time without washing your balls. Let me
yeah.
just say.
Well, and that's almost, to me, the mustache almost does no favors to that because you had to trim it and cut it. Like, it looks like it's been groomed to have a shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't look like he's let go. Like, it made him look almost weirdly
kept.
Yes, like he looked like somebody from, like, I don't know, like the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Can we take a step back from the mustache and talk about the part of the movie that I didn't care for, which was the overacting done by Lily Rose Depp. Like,
she was the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, agreed.
She overacted the absolute shit out of that.
Oh yeah,
and it was.
I was wondering if that was just me, or I kind of got that too. But then I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe she's just really trying to sell it, and I don't really know a lot about her.
She sold it, but it was to the point where you have like Aaron Taylor Johnson, you've got Bill Skarsgård, you've got
Willem Dafoe,
Nicholas Hoult, all these people just like who are very standard, good, fantastic actors.
Yeah.
And then Lily Rose Depp is just like shouting everything and just like pouring. I mean, in a sense, she's pouring her heart out on for that role.
I see what you mean.
But it was like when she was possessed and like screaming and just like eyes rolled the back of her head and spitting, and it was just like at one point I was like, you're taking me out of it. You're going so
hamming it up too much.
You're hamming it up to the point where it's almost comical, and I need you to reel it in at least two.
Like
that was interesting.
Like if that would have been an actress like
I think Jennifer Lawrence would have crushed it.
Somebody like that, or Anne
Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway,
Margaret Qualley.
or even like I started to say Cate Blanchett, but fuck Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
No, I mean you still need someone younger because it's supposed to be. And I love Cate Blanchett, but I don't.
She said a bunch of shit about fans of heavy metal, and she's dead to me now.
What?
We talked about it on the pod. Yeah, there's an interview you can Google it. In fact, there's a funny story. So there's a famous interview where they're on a show. She's sitting next to Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie and Cate Blanchett are on a talk show together, and she mentioned something. Margot Robbie mentioned something about I just got back from a Slipknot concert.
Yeah.
And Cate Blanchett goes, "Does anybody really enjoy heavy metal? Like anyone?" And she said,
"The underworld chick has."
And she goes,
Yeah, that's weird.
And she goes, "Well, I do. Like, I legitimately enjoy it. I go to concerts and see." And she goes, "Oh, well, do you like monster trucks too?"
Are you serious?
Google it. And she was dead to me at that point. I was like, bitch.
But I mean, have you ever seen Cate Blanchett?
Yeah,
She looks like she farts classical music.
It's true. And like,
she looks like a pretentious person that eats quinoa and like listens to jazz.
We talked about it on this podcast,
Like
and even
Celine
Grace.
Dion.
I remember Grace goes, "Fuck her." She's probably somewhere right now wearing a beige pantsuit. but like,
She eats quinoa for the environment.
here's the cool epilogue to that story, though. The cool
she uses
epilogue.
Gwyneth Paltrow's goop.
Yeah,
Right.
The cool epilogue is there's a company owned by the guitarist from Metallica, Kirk Hammett, that makes pedals, and they made a pedal called the Kate, based on that exact interaction, and it shows this angry Karen on a monster truck, like jumping out of like this hellish landscape, and it's called the Kate. It's absolutely based on Cate Blanchett.
It's amazing.
So they kind of got their anyway.
Eat shit, Kate.
Eat shit, Cate Blanchett.
Eat
One
cake.
last thing
Wait.
to talk about with Nosferatu from our experience. The theater that we went to had a Bollywood movie showing as well.
I had the same
We had the same
experience.
And
yeah.
they put Nosferatu
mean
right
like
next
RRR
to a
Bollywood?
Yeah,
a Bollywood movie. So Aaron
can
Taylor
I act-
Johnson's acting his ass off, and he's crying, he's losing it, and we just hear.
Yeah, and then you hear like boom, boom, and you're like, what is happening? Someone shooting up the theater? Like, what is
going on?
it's
That's
so
amazing.
loud?
Amazing.
It was so bizarre.
Amazing. That I feel like that would have been hilarious. Also, I feel like it would have been made it even harder to look at the vampire with that mustache, knowing
We got
that's how everybody in the next theater looks. For real.
Oh
I've seen them.
Yikes, bro.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's accurate.
Episode 200. That's it. See you later, folks.
no! You may not get a chance
I
to
like
quit. It might just
RRR,
be
but
canceled.
everybody had that exact
Are you
mustache from
trying
Nosferatu.
are you trying to tell me that a lot of convenience store snacks were snuck into that theater?
Possibly. The Simpsons were there. I don't.
Yeah. You know. Big bottle of tahini.
These are just things.
Can I not to change the subject, but I haven't been on here in a while. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart that I left working customer service a year and a half ago, and I fucking love it.
Best time of your life.
That's great.
So excited to never work in a hotel ever again.
Bravo.
Bravo.
It's so nice. Granted, I work in construction now, and it can be awful, but I don't have to listen to like some old lady being like, fix my problem that you have no control over, please.
And technically, you might still have to work in a hotel at some point, but
That's
not
true.
for a hotel.
Yeah, no, that's true. I can tear out a ceiling and drop an air conditioning unit.
I mean, that he still won't have to put up with somebody that goes, can we get some fresh
That's the
sheets on the
question.
bed? Fresh No, lady.
Do you drop the air conditioning unit on those people, or
No, I think that's frowned upon.
Yeah, that
Okay,
might be a
gotcha.
problem.
Honestly, I actually work more industrial, like warehouses. Like I'm warehouses and factories.
Cool.
that's probably worse because you're higher up on roofs that are not?
Yeah, I've only almost slid off one roof so
Ooh.
far.
Yikes!
And are
Yeah.
you? I forget. Maybe I should remember this. How are you about heights? Are you weird about heights or no?
So that was actually a question asked to me during the interview. Was like,
Yeah.
are you afraid of heights? I'm not a huge fan of heights, but it's more or less of, and I told them this in the interview, it's more or less of unsafe heights. Like
Okay.
if you put me up 30 feet in the air on, some lift and I'm like strapped in, or like there's like a, scissor lift has the kind of bars around so you don't just like go toppling over, totally fine. Not an issue. You put me on a 20-foot ladder and it's like not open all the way, and I'm like holding onto an I-beam trying to drill a hole into the other side of the
Shaking a
I-beam,
little
and
Nope.
it's shaking.
Nope.
That's when I start to get a little puckered up.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I think one of the things that I love most about it is that I can leave. Like when I worked in the hotel or any kind of customer service, I left that day going, I wonder what problems are going to arise between now and when I get back tomorrow.
Right.
And now I'm in a job where I leave and I go, I accomplished something today. Or I started a project, got halfway through it, but I still accomplished something. And then tomorrow I get to wrap it up and finish it, and then I'm on to the next one. I
We
don't
were
have
like
to worry.
producing a result rather than just hearing everybody's complaints all fucking day. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, psychologically, I think that's much healthier.
It's a breath of fresh air.
That's awesome. Yeah. But man, I'll tell you, I listened back to some of the old episodes, like going into this, and I kind of what you said, like I do feel like this has been a great platform for us to sort of like there's a lot of times where I had no idea what I thought about things, but just like bouncing it off you guys, or Grace or various people, like it just kind of helps you sort of make your mind up about a lot of things. But a lot of stuff on this podcast was just us discovering the road forward in a weird, like we went through the pandemic, and some of those episodes are weird. I remember we had no idea what was going to happen. I remember early on in the pandemic, we were like, we're definitely not getting locked down. Like they're definitely not going to shut down businesses, and motherfuck, they did. Like
Yeah, and then 3 episodes later, we're doing it from computers.
yeah,
Oh, gosh.
yeah. And I remember us coming down here and like with like Lysol wipes.
Yep.
Because we just thought it was everywhere, like it wasn't safe to go anywhere. And I'm not even saying it wasn't. I'm just saying like we were like spraying cleaner all over everything.
I still buy Microban because of you.
Do you really?
I don't get Lysol anymore. I just get Microban.
I didn't have it until that pandemic. It was the only thing you could get at the store, and it was supposed to kill viruses. And I remember,
great.
There's probably some in this room somewhere, but like same thing. And I remember we would like put our masks on and leave. And we come in here, take our masks off, and like do the podcast. And you know what I mean? Like we went through all that shit together, and it was just like, I don't know, man. I'm not necessarily the same person I was when this podcast started, and I'm not necessarily proud of everything I've ever said on it, but I feel like we did kind of discover a lot of stuff
Oh, yeah.
going forward. And so with that as the impetus, what do you guys think about 2025 so far?
It's great. I'm so excited.
Okay,
This
good.
year feels like it's. Yeah, this year feels like it's set up pretty well to.
It feels like there's a lot of promise.
Yeah. 2 days from now, Yellowstone's going to blow up, and we're going to be
Yeah.
like,
Well,
yikes, oops.
Don't forget, remember the year started off like day one with a whole bunch of terrorist attacks
Yep.
in like Las Vegas, and what was the one? New Orleans was the other one. Hunter, what do you think about 2025 so far?
Yeah, I agree. It
Cool,
seems
thanks.
to have a lot of promise.
Well, dude, I'll give kind of like one thing that I'm sort of hopeful for, and again, I don't know how this is all going to pan out. It's like a month away. No, it's a little over a month away in March when they have the Oscars. But like my favorite horror movie of like the last decade, The Substance, got nominated for like 5 different Oscars, including Best Director, Best Makeup, best original screenplay, all these different things, and man, I hope it wins at least. I can't imagine her not winning best director, but again, who knows? I know one of the other.
She's not
best makeup's going to Nosferatu, no doubt.
I don't know, dude.
That mustache.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but at least they're saying that as far as the categories it's nominated, a suspense / horror movie hasn't gotten this kind of Academy attention since Silence of the Lambs. So it's they've kind of busted the glass ceiling on a horror movie, a very graphic horror movie that took a lot of chances and did a lot of wild stuff to get this much attention in a lot of the Oscar noms. So that's, even if it doesn't win, that's pretty cool.
No, it is. It won't win.
Hopefully it hopefully it catapults her career to the next thing, really, really having a lot of resources. There's no telling what this lady's going to do next.
Imagine if she makes a Star Wars movie with Kathleen Kennedy.
No,
or
sir.
a Junji Ito movie.
Man.
Or she remakes G.I. Jane with Demi Moore.
Let's do
Gosh.
Ooh.
But no,
Gee, I
you
did.
liking the substance so much just confirms the fact that you need to read some Junji Ito stories.
And I've got some actually stockpiled. We didn't have a chance to discuss this, but I recently kind of started hanging out at Barnes and Noble a little bit just to get some of that.
Oh, are we going?
Bookstore.
Are we going to start doing bookstore hangouts again?
I don't know, but
we ran into him the other day at Barnes & Noble.
Is 2025 the year we bring back bookstore hangouts?
Let's
Bro.
destroy Barnes & Noble's
Please.
cafe and turn it into Joe Muggs.
I mean,
They'll
it-
resist.
it doesn't have the same charm as Joe Muggs.
That's because it needs it. We need to-
Mainly because of the people.
But they
It
have
just
better
doesn't-
coffee.
They do have better coffee. Sorry, Joe Muggs. The coffee was we just put up with it. But they do have better coffee, and the bookstore itself is fucking phenomenal. It's got so many crazy
I bet the bathroom is way cleaner.
you know.
is.
it has a
sorta.
busted hole where the urinal's supposed to be, and it's still cleaner.
It ain't
Yeah.
it ain't the best, but it's pretty good. It's better. It's
Now
better.
I kind of want to go just to pee in a wall. That sounds great.
Yeah, but I've started to kind of do some bookstore hangout just to be. I just wanted to drink coffee and smell books. I just
Yeah.
wanted to be back in that world, and we did it. But
Gross pig.
do you guys want to hear a funny story?
No.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Well, here it comes.
Oh, cool. I love things forced upon me.
A long time ago on
A galaxy far, far away.
on this podcast,
Penis.
the question was presented. Do you think it may have been you, Casey, that presented
God.
it? He told me on one of our episodes. He said, "Do you think we're living in a simulation?" And I said, "No, I don't think we are." And here's why: because things would just not be this stupid.
I remember this episode.
I had
That
something
was
happen to
Casey.
me on the drive over here, which reinstated that feeling. I'll get to it in a
I
second.
now believe we are 100% in a simulation.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I think it. Do you want to go first? You want to tell you what happened to you?
I was just on the way here. I was at the paper mill or the North Shore or whatever, Kingston Pike red light, and there was 3 cars in front of me. All had their flashers on, and they all went. And I was like, at first I saw it, and I was like, that's 3 cars with their flashers on. That's odd, but maybe they're following each other, so they turn their flashers on so people don't cut them off or separate the group, what have you.
Sure.
They all went in 3 separate directions, and I went, what?
Huh?
What?
The graphics are glitching.
That dude. I mean, one of these days, I just want to not go to work and sit in my driveway, like Truman Show style, and see how many times the same guy in a flannel shirt with a black dog walks by.
I mean, so listen, recently, by accident, and I may have even talked to Hunter and Libby, you two, about this at Barnes & Noble. So I recently got super addicted to this drink. And I had it by accident at Coffee and Chocolate. And basically what it is,
Dirty apple chai.
Apple caramel dirty chai.
Okay.
And weirdly, like I said, I got it by accident at Coffee and Chocolate because they had a apple caramel seasonal thing. And I go, well, could you do that, but do like a dirty chai? And they go, I guess why not? When I left that store that day, I was like, my God, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. I mean, there's some caffeine in it. You get the boost, but it just has this incredibly, I cannot explain how comforting it tastes.
Have you had Starbucks' caramel crisp macchiato that they do every fall with
I have.
pumpkin spice now?
So this is similar.
Is it better though? You're saying it's better.
No, this is far better. This is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Well, yeah, you're adding chai to it. So
It's insane.
That's fair.
Yeah, and the fact that, again, if you go to another place, most places don't have apple syrup. So you're at a loss trying to create this. Now, I did reach out to some local coffee shop owners because I was telling everybody I have this incredible recipe for this drink. And some places have apple syrup, some don't. You can't get it some places. But I did reach out to some local coffee shops. And I said, who's going to be the first one to put this on their menu? Who's going to get the apple syrup? And I haven't heard back yet, but it could show up at Awaken or K-Brew or something. You never know. Anyway.
I'm still trying to figure out how this fits into my simulation.
It became
I
like
can't wait
my
to get
signature drink, like my go-to. In fact, we even had the people at the coffee shop near me call it the McCoy. Are you here for the McCoy? I was like, oh, okay, sure. Anyway, so I wrote the recipe down. I gave it to several people that work at coffee shops. Most of them were like, well, we can't do it because we don't have apple. And even our apple isn't like Starbucks. It doesn't have the cinnamon in it, you know.
You should disclose the coffee shop after. I need to be able to walk into a place and ask for a McCoy.
Right now,
That matters to
the
me.
only place I know for sure you could get one like today is at Starbucks. If
No, but I
you
mean
order
where
it
I
the
can
way
walk in and say, hey, I'd like the McCoy.
and by the way, if you just tell them add caramel or add apple, they'll put 5 pumps. And I think it's a little too much. I think it makes it a little too sweet. Just ask for 4 pumps of each of those things so it doesn't overpower. And if that's too sweet, you can back it off a little. But apple, caramel, dirty chai. So anyway, I was running around drinking these things like it's going out of style. And I usually don't even I try to not have that much sugar lately. So it was fucking me up like crazy. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I mean, I was addicted to it. And I would go out of and that's one of the reasons I was hanging out at Barnes & Noble, because there's a Starbucks there. So I'd have that comforting fucking holiday tasting drink and smell all the books. And I mean, I was in heaven. I was completely out of control.
And then you can go right down to Shea and get some Condi fries, which,
That's right.
by the way, I went there recently. They don't do fries anymore.
Do they
What?
not?
Seriously?
But you know what they do now? They do brunch, because I was there right before I came here today.
Oh, no.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang.
Boy, and that
Get a
brunch
margarita.
is unreal. And also best Bloody Mary I've ever had ever. I didn't have one today because we were recording, but I had one a couple weeks ago.
I need to try a
Bonkers.
Bloody Mary from them.
It's bonkers.
I like their margaritas.
It has
Their margaritas
so
are
much
really
shit in it.
fucking Good.
Oh, yeah.
Next time we go to Shea, can you be diabetic driver so I can have a Bloody Mary?
Diabetic driver.
Or, sorry,
Sure.
dedicated. What is it? Designated.
The
Designated.
diabetic driver. I forgot.
I'm always
You
the
get pulled-
DD no matter where we go.
You get pulled over and you're like, don't worry, he has diabetes. He's not drunk. It's fine.
The diabetic driver. But anyway, so I'm going around all over town talking about this drink.
Simulation.
And so this guy, a coworker, I had a coworker, and he takes a week off to go to Kentucky for some like outdoor, camping trip or something like
Nobody
that.
does that. It's a simulation.
The guy comes back and he goes, I've got to tell you something kind of wild. And I go, okay. He goes, so I went the town we went to for our camping trip or whatever in Kentucky. There was a coffee shop, and their flagship drink was exactly the drink you've been talking about.
Wow.
An apple, like dirty chai, cinnamon. And I go,
Caramel apple.
I go, that's great. He goes, yeah, it's like their flagship drink. He goes, but more than that. Guess what the name of the coffee shop is? And I go, what? He goes,
McCoy's?
Spencer's.
You can also get a plastic poo in the back.
Yeah.
That's
And I was like,
amazing.
that's it. We're in a simulation.
Thank you.
There's no way.
Thank you.
We're in a
That's
simulation.
all I needed. I feel seen now.
Goodness gracious.
I honestly, sometimes I do feel like I have like a mental issue, because I'll be out in public walking around, and it's like that main character syndrome thing where I like look at other people and I'm like, there's no way they also have lives outside of this interaction with me.
Right. They were just
Like I
spawned
can't,
in. Yeah.
and it's not like I think I'm better than that
No,
person.
yeah, but
it's
it's
literally just like I can't wrap my head around what their day to day looks like, as well as the other 1 billion people's day to day looks like.
I do the opposite kind of. If I'm sitting and I'm watching people, I'll like imagine where they were before this and where they're going now and what their plans are. And I don't know. Opposite kind of thing.
She might be a programmer
NPC.
in the system.
I'm an
gonna
NPC.
say, yeah.
You just walk around saying the same thing over and over
I'm
again.
what's it called? A quest tag or whatever it's called.
Yeah, you have an exclamation point. You're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did that come from? I don't know. It's weird. It's strange for sure. I don't know why I think that, but I just will.
To be fair, every now and then something really weird will happen, and I'll entertain the thought for 5 seconds, but then I dismiss it because I'm like, if we're in a simulation, I need someone to fix the program because this is not fun.
Yeah.
Like even holding up the.
you know-
the
And that was my
diabetic
original
meter.
argument. It was like, if we're in a simulation, it sucks.
Yeah.
This could be a lot
To
better.
be fair, when I play The Sims and put a sim in a pool and take the ladder out, it's not because I want them to have a good time. It's because I'm having a good time watching them suffer. So I don't know why you expect whoever's running this thing to take care of you.
And I mean, anybody who's ever walked like downtown Knoxville, or I'm sure any downtown of a larger city, even, you you can attest to the fact that like it feels like GTA 5 sometimes because people are saying some really weird stuff around you and doing weird things, and you're like, you can't. That's not real.
You know what? That might explain all the people that like walk right into doors that say "Do not enter" like 3 times, and then turn around and look for help.
Or like walk up to employees and say, "Where's your restroom?"
Or you have, you're working at a bookstore and someone walks in and they go, "Where's your
Customer service."
Where's your fiction section?" And you're like, "Do you see that sign that says nonfiction?" Yeah, everything else. bud.
Everything else. I think
good
about
luck.
that all the time. You said that on this show one time, and I literally in the last month I've been at Barnes and Noble looking around and going, wait, I wonder where. Oh, it's all fiction except for nonfiction.
I have a fun story about customer service stuff in regards to this. So I work at a thrift store, and as a thrift store, we stock whatever we are given. And one of my employees had the misfortune of coming across a man who somehow didn't understand that concept. So he was like, "Where are y'all's printers?" She was like, "Oh, if we have any printers, they're going to be on the electronics
If
aisle
there's
over
any,
there."
yeah.
If we have any. I think we have one out right now.
There's not like an electronics department.
Right. So he goes and he gets the printer and he comes back to her and he says, "Now I couldn't find it. Where do y'all keep your paper?" And she was like,
Like, sir, do you know what store you wandered
"Yeah,
into?
do you know where you are right now?"
It says it's Staples, dipshit.
Right.
Do you see the clothes in here too?
Oh, man.
Just like walking around
I just
completely oblivious.
I mean, I guess it takes all types. Who knows?
listen. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that even though I don't work in customer service anymore, I still hate people. I still genuinely, on my day-to-day life, usually, I go out and about and I'm like, God, I just hate, maybe another pandemic roll through, take out another 100,000 people.
Yeah,
Just so I don't have to worry about traffic for a couple days.
Well, if the current fucking wave of natural disasters keeps going, you're going to get your wish, between like the fucking hurricanes and the fires and all. Jesus.
I know this sounds morbid, but I hear the scientific reality of if Yellowstone erupts, like the mega volcano, and how it would decimate a population for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it was said that ash would cover the world. It would be so big, ash would cover the world and bring everything down 10 degrees, which I understand could be devastating. But when you're on a roof in the middle of August and it's 100-degree index with like 80% humidity, give me that 10 degrees, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I don't care about Timmy in Wisconsin. Like, I don't care. I want the 10 degrees.
Jeez.
Do you know what's funny? You were talking about HVAC stuff and like heating and air. I'll tell you a funny story. You'll appreciate this. So, recently we had that crazy fucking Arctic vortex or whatever that came through, and it was fucking 6 degrees and it was terrible. Well, at work, the restaurant I work at, we have 2 units on the roof that are supposed to handle the area, and neither one of them was really big enough, but one of them went out completely. So literally we had this one unit and it would get it up to like 50 degrees inside, but not much more. So when it was like 6 degrees outside, it was cold as shit at work.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter, like the cooking, the ovens and stuff wouldn't warm it up in there. We were all in like sweaters, and they put a call in to some company to come and replace the unit to fix it. Well, they're back ordered, and it took forever. And of course, then the snow comes, and we're freezing our butt off. And everybody's got an icicle hanging off their balls, and anyway,
Even the girls.
Is this why you fired them?
No. They just needed a man up.
Dude, it was bad.
right.
The coldest part is
Grab your
I was
balls,
talking
ladies.
about you guys.
the coldest part were the bathrooms. The toilet seats were like ice. I mean, it was bad. And so anyway, they finally came. Of course, now it's not as cold. The freezing wave is sort of over. But they came last week with a new
Gross.
unit, and they go up, and I come in, and like it's kind of warmer. I go, did they replace our unit on the roof? And somebody goes, yeah, I think they did. And I go, I go in the bathroom. It's still pretty fucking cold in the bath. It's like 48 degrees in the bathroom. I was like, oh, I don't know here, but it's sort of warmer in the other. And come to find out, these fucking guys replaced the wrong unit. They replaced the one that worked with another one that worked, and then left the broken one. And so we're still.
Hey, I have a number you can give to your boss, and I can give you a business card for a salesman at my company, and we'll come and hook you up.
Well, next time we'll fucking call you guys. But
I might bring you down to the basement when you come over in 2 weeks to look at our. I'm afraid of that so badly. We have one specific, like the house is old and that like airflow is weird in some of the rooms, but we have one room that literally gets zero airflow.
No airflow.
And it's in the addition, so it might just not be connected.
I could tell. I can get down there and look. Is it a crawl space or an actual basement?
It's an actual basement.
Okay. The moment I have to
so we can have like dance parties.
You know how many times people have reached out to me and been like, "Hey, can you come look at this? It's in my crawl space." I'm like, "You can go fuck yourself."
So I didn't realize.
That's why I got a commercial job, not a residential job, because I don't want to be crawling around spiders.
I didn't realize that you hadn't been in our basement yet. And it's creepy, I'll tell you that. The guy who had the house before my parents bought it, like 50 years ago or something, he built rooms in the basement for his oldest kids.
Perfect. Lock them up.
There's a stairwell that used to go up into the house, but it had to be blocked off in order to be considered a residential place because the basement's not fully finished.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. They built rooms for their older kids in an
Exactly.
I mean, as long as there's nothing down there with a weird mustache.
Dad, can I have walls yet?
Haven't
Absolutely
seen one
not.
Yet. So, and I don't know if we told you this. I think I might have. When we first were preparing to move into that house, it had carpet that had been in there since my parents purchased it, and probably far before. It was very gross, very dry, rotty.
Come on, Demon Circle. Come on, Demon Circle.
I'm in
One
there
step removed.
pulling carpet up, sending Hunter pictures, just letting him know how I'm doing. And I pull
I'm
up
at work
the carpet.
and I get my phone goes bzz, bzz, and I pull it out, and there's a photo from Libby followed by a question.
I pull up the carpet, and there's the padding underneath, and there's a bright, big red stain.
Reddish brown.
Yeah.
So I take a picture of it, and I said, "Do you think it's wine? Do you think it's blood?" And he said, 100% it's blood. Pull up the insulation that's under the carpet, and there's a giant circle of blood.
Nice.
In our living room. It's still there because we can't get it out because it's in the wood.
Hundreds of droplets in a trail leading towards the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone got stabbed.
stabbed or, no, I can't make that joke. Never mind.
Stabbed or shot or something else.
Yeah, stabbed, shot.
But then there's the unfinished basement. So there was a running joke that like someone got killed in our house and buried in the basement.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll come take a look at Hunter's going to have to go in the basement.
You guys didn't mention that before you had us over to actually solve a fake murder.
Yeah, why didn't you put the dummy on the blood spot in the living room?
So Sasha suggested that we put it in the basement. And I was like, I don't want y'all to have to go outside to go down into the basement just to find the dead body.
That actually would have been pretty sick.
Would have been pretty cool.
For those of you,
been cool.
For those to give you guys a little bit of like context on this, like recently, Eliza Weathers had her birthday, and we all went. You threw a like a murder mystery dinner party, and we all got to go. And that's Casey was there. Casey's character I thought was the funniest. And I couldn't handle. Every time I would look at you, you had this huge mustache on.
You were
Speaking of big
Nosferatu.
mustache,
I was Nosferatu, dude.
God, dude.
it was Nosferatu in a velvet suit.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
That's a great song title.
Solve the murder.
Nosferatu in a velvet suit.
Except you were like this Texas oil baron, and you were just talking shit. It was so funny.
Death and murder sound like poor people stuff. Right?
Listen, I'll disclose this. I texted Hunter and Libby before that party, and I said I'm a little concerned because the character you've given me indicates that I get to be an asshole all night and just hurt people's feelings. And I'm a little concerned that whoever's going to be there, I might hurt some feelings. And Libby went, I want you to play the part. And I said, you got it.
Yeah.
And so I got there and just... I might have ruffled some feathers with my poor people comments, but they're poor people, so who cares what they think?
Was we got that same message from like 4 other people.
From several people.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Everyone was like, are you sure I should like go
We
all
were
out?
like,
I'm like,
lean
go all out.
into it.
Do it.
It was a lot of fun, and you guys did a great job, like decorating, and like there really was like a fake dead body in one of the rooms, for us to find, and all these clues, and like it was great, man. It was a good time.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Realistic enough to be uncomfortable. looking. It was.
Well, and you know what? I'll go ahead and say, since we're all sitting here, Hunter took the fucking easy way out because he was like
Host Malone.
Like he just read the rules and told everybody what to do, but you didn't actually have to participate.
Yeah, I was assigned that role.
But it's not fair because there was no characters that had diabetes in the thing. So it was.
Zing.
Well, I was on the diabetes thing. I was going to say the one aspect of like hosting / co-hosting the party for
Host
everyone that
Malone.
killed me was when it came time to cut the cake. All of a sudden, I was like, I don't actually know how to do this. Like beyond like the visual because I don't have cake often.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know how to handle sugar.
Yeah, so like everyone's getting
Literally.
these weird like everyone is nice at the party, but like for those of you listening,
'cause you're
like
like, "I
the
don't do
pieces were
cake."
like the pieces you guys know the pieces were like weird and lopsided and they were angled all kinds of.
What
and I
was super
like,
weird is it was a round cake, but I got a square piece. I was like, how the fuck?
That's
How'd
what-
you do that?
I got halfway through the cake and I was like, I don't think I should be doing this.
I'll say this:
I don't
the,
think I
the
should be
cake
the one
was
cutting the
really
cake.
good. It was delicious
Oh,
cake.
it's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Did you make that?
Did you like the
did,
blood in the
yeah.
middle?
You baked that?
Yeah, and it
Hol-
was strawberry and red velvet.
She fried it.
Holy shit! It was
Delicious.
good.
Thank you.
I thought you would have got this like somewhere real fancy, like Magpies or
No.
one of these fancy cake places.
I bought 6-inch rounds so I could make the 2-layer cake,
Damn.
and that was an ordeal because I'd never done a multi-layered cake before.
I remember wanting to comment on how good the cake was. It was one of the best cakes I've ever had.
Thank you.
Like legit. And I remember,
But you were so busy being in character that you forgot to say anything about
I didn't really have a character either. Like right before the fucking dinner started, Hunter did like this voice, which we do down here all the time at band practice.
Yeah.
He goes, "Man, tell you what," and I was just like, "I'm just going to do that." I was going to talk like a redneck. I don't know what
It
my
worked.
character was.
You did a good job.
And then Casey was sort of the same. We were kind of the same guy, but
It was
man,
great. I loved it. It was like we're long lost twins.
It was a lot of fun.
A good friend Rip, if he ever happens to find this, Bonko.
Bonk.
Dude,
He-
So good.
his acting.
He
Everybody
was
loved
so
him.
funny.
Yeah.
So
And
funny.
I kept forgetting his character's name, and the way we all had little name badges we were supposed to wear so you could kind of stay in character and call people by their character names, but his had like flipped over and I didn't know who, but he was like this Latino
Yeah.
character, and so I just kept my character would just randomly call him out, and I'd be like, "Well, I tell you what, I don't know who you damn people are, but I like this Cortez or whoever he is over here." Or like Esplanado, by God,
And
he's all right.
he would always go, Bunkle.
Yeah, he's good in my book, by God, and like
I was going to say, it was very funny to me to observe how much and how uncomfortable all of the guys present were with the like mild misogyny of their characters.
Well, we're not allowed to do it in real life anymore. So whenever I get to role play, I'm like, I'm going to make fun of women.
Literally, Rip is an amazing actor, and every time he would have to say something that was like slightly inappropriate to the women, he would immediately be like,
well, and you know what? I feel bad because I didn't put two and two together at the party that was a guy who was in the movie like a year or two ago that used our music.
Yeah,
What a
that's
compliment
Rip.
you could give an actor. You didn't recognize him when he was in
I
character.
d- well,
That's
'cause
a
he-
great compliment.
Because he acted so differently at the party. Like could not imagine it was the same guy. And then, but he looked so familiar. And I was like, I feel like I've seen that guy, but I hadn't seen him since it screened.
Well, you took me aside. You're like, is he
That's the guy from the movie.
And
I
was like,
remembered
yep.
him from Venom, but
Fair. It's fair.
too soon.
Best part.
Should I not? Oops. Sorry.
I actually don't know. I can't remember if I told you this, Libby. So I mean, edit if you need to. But as soon as like early on when Anna made some comment about our friend Kaylee's character, thinking our friend Cameron's character was super hot, and they both kind of blushed a little bit, and then she like immediately, because we were like getting the plates or something, we're aside in the room, and she goes, Are they together? Like, was that too far? And I was like, they're married. And then she goes, oh, good.
Yeah, they're married in real life.
It's
fine.
okay. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Oh man.
I really enjoy putting those together because it's almost in a way like casting a play, because I try my best to find
100%.
characters that I feel like you guys can pull off in some way.
I had the thought, and I probably should keep this to myself. There's no way.
So you thought I could narrate? Is that what you're...
Yeah.
No, nobody thought that.
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
This is probably a can of worms we should not even open.
Oh,
but
boy.
I had the thought later that night as we were like wrapping up.
That hoe over there?
What? listen.
I'm getting my episode 1 energy back.
You are. You're doing good. You're doing. Bless your little heart.
Yeah. You guys seen Cloverfield?
Oh my god.
My heart goes out to you.
Yeah. Who was that guy in the rubber Godzilla suit? Whatever.
Hunter, we get it. The Godzilla guy got an Oscar.
But what if we did like another one of those, but we wrote all the content.
That would be
we,
interesting.
We basically used the same framework, but we like designed all the characters and the scenarios.
But
It
wait,
wouldn't
then
make
you
sense,
would know
but it would be amazing.
who did it.
Well,
Well-
that's why you use ChatGPT to come up with and then hide it. Hide
No.
the
That would be
results.
sick, actually.
Hide the results.
Let ChatGPT like come up with a murder mystery party
Bro.
and just have to deal with whatever it gives you.
Whatever it gives you, and give it a lot of bonkers clues, like some weird input. Like there has to be like a Tyrannosaurus at some
A
point.
banana for a monkey man.
I will say
God.
here recently, we've been doing these box. You can get them at Target for $30.
The escape room
It's
things?
Hunt to Killer.
Yes.
And
What's
it's-
this? What's
Hunt to
this?
Killer's great.
It is there's like 9. You should, for your surgery, you should do it because you can play 1 to like 8 players.
Okay.
You get a box and it has all the information and clues from a murder, fake
Okay.
murder, but a murder. And you open it up and there's like always like a lock that you have to solve something else in the puzzle.
This sounds amazing.
It's great.
To get the code for the lock to unlock it to give you more information on who killed who.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it can take 30 minutes, it can take 5 hours, it can take 2 days. And depending on the difficulty, we did one that was pretty tough and it took us probably maybe 2 to 3 hours to complete it.
Okay.
We've done some that have taken us 45 minutes to an hour. But we literally, you open the box, you read what the police sent you and, all these fake different people, and you just try to solve a murder. And the moment it's done, you box it back up and give it to a friend to just pass it along.
The really cool thing about the Hunt to Killer ones is they're much more involved. There are lots of different companies that make these murder mysteries that you can solve, or like the case files ones. I don't know if you guys have ever done those, or the exit games, which are like breakout rooms in a box. They're really great. The one thing that I really like about the Hunt to Killer ones is they have like physical props rather than just cards or notes or newspapers. They have like a can opener or a handkerchief from this place that this person stayed at. But if you end up doing one of those and you want any help, I absolutely love those things. And I've only done
Well,
like
you
2
just
of them.
said something too, which I kind of find it. Maybe you guys have done these, but I find it kind of bizarre that we haven't all done an escape room
I know.
yet
It's
together
weird.
either.
We just did. Me and Savannah had a couple friends coming to town from Kansas.
Did you do one?
And we went and did one. It was clue themed.
Oh shit!
At
a good one.
Breakout,
It was
Breakout Knoxville.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
dude. Every time I do an escape room, I leave there going, I should do this every weekend.
Yep.
I should go in here and do this every weekend.
Bro, I would
and
be
then
down.
I
So
never
fun.
do. It's not that expensive.
No.
Well, and did we? And again, I forget. There's been so many episodes and so many guests. But back when we used to have
199 other episodes.
Thanks, Hunter. You did very well putting all that together. And you should definitely be on the team when we do the escape room. Not, but I remember at some point weren't we talking to like the Frightworks people, and they also were doing escape rooms? Are
I
they
think
also
so.
the Breakout people?
Are they?
Maybe.
If they're
I'm
not,
sure there's some crossover. I don't know if they're the same people, but
I'm going to edit this out in case I'm told. But I know that they also have a escape room business.
All I know is that I talked to the girl there, and I was like, "So how does this work exactly?" And she goes, "Well, each escape room, like each themed escape room, has a host."
Right.
Just one person that runs it. They
Yeah.
kind of came up with it with a team of people. They learned it front to back, and then but apparently they're just on call. So it's like you book it. If you book it same day, that person gets a text, and they're like, I guess I'm going to work from 6 until 8 o'clock tonight or whenever. And they go in, they set it up, and that's their job. And I was like, so like, what if you just go all day and no one contacts you? And she's like, then I just get a day off. And I was like, that must be an awful experience to just like
that feels like that'd be chaos.
I mean, apparently they get days off, but it's like, man, can you imagine just sitting at home being like, I don't know if I'm going to work today or not. It depends on if a bunch of
Yeah,
drunk
it's-
nerds want to do it.
Oh gosh!
That's tough.
But you said Breakout Knoxville is the one.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
we know, like
Breakout Knoxville is great. I've never had a bad experience.
It's over
with
there
them.
on Parkside.
Genuinely fantastic.
It was really good. And it's the only second escape room I've ever done. And it's like I did one, 5 years later I did another one, and both times I was
I'm in
like,
the same boat. I've done like 2 or 3 and same thing.
it's like I need to do more of these. They're so fun.
bro, I think I think that's got to be in our future. Probably.
They're so good.
2025 is a good year.
Yeah,
We should
2025.
To escape. It's a great year to escape.
Bookstore hangouts, escape rooms every weekend.
We did an escape room once with a wonderful friend of ours who will again not be named, who accidentally triggered a puzzle, and it started the puzzle with a gunshot, and it scared the crap out of everyone in the room.
Jesus Christ.
It's amazing.
So it just went off, and we were like, "Whoa!"
Oh,
Anyways, yeah, if you ever want to do,
I'm into it.
If you want to do a breakout game and like while you're laid up from your surgery and all that fun stuff,
Well, what I'm trying to do is just to get as much fun shit out of the way as I can before that happens. Because that's gonna be the surgery I'm having is on my leg, and it's going to be at least 6 weeks of no walking.
Gotcha.
So there's going to be a big period of time where I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything, and that's going to be TV, books.
Yeah.
That's going to be when I do Jinji Ito. You know,
If you want though, like that experience while you are laid up, Exit is a company. Exit by Cosmos.
Yeah.
Their games are great. Their puzzles, like breakout games.
And is that the same company he was talking about?
No, mine's
don't think
Hunt a
so.
Killer.
Yeah.
Hunt a Killer.
is
Okay.
a different company, but
You're talking about, okay, well, yours is called Exit?
Exit is the type. Cosmos is the brand. Cosmos also makes the adventure games, which we've talked about doing this before.
And where does one procure these games?
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
Son of a
Target,
bitch. We're probably going there soon.
Yeah.
Hunter knows exactly where they are, so just call them when you're there.
I actually know exactly where they are too.
Yeah, if you walk through the main door, go all the way down to
Shut
where
up.
you're in
Right
front
now
of the
they have
toys
a-
and
Shut your
turn
mouth.
left.
Shut your
Right now
mouth.
they have a Sherlock themed one there in stock. They also have, I believe, the Lord of the Rings one in stock still.
Fuck, okay.
They're really cool.
Spoiler alert,
Nice.
it's Gollum.
My precious.
I will say, on the topic of like nerdy things, escape rooms and such, I finally went to Bitburger for the first time ever.
I don't think I've been
I've
yet.
never been.
Is that's
Bro.
where you guys ate shortly before the birthday party?
Yeah, it's
right?
for Sasha's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's connected over to and I've been like recently just for whatever reason popping in and out of their sister business Token.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has been there for a million years, and
I've been to
and
Token.
I love Token. And it's just I just never went there for a long time because we had so many friends that worked downtown, and anytime like I don't make it to bars a lot, but if I wanted to go see somebody at a bar, it would be Pres Pub or it would be Central Flats or some of those places. And just recently, for whatever reason, like I had a couple friends who work out west, and they want to get together after work or just whatever, and the closest place was Token, and it's wonderful. It's really, really great. Like there's always good music playing, and it's usually like dance remixes of like 80 songs, and the games are great, and it's just it has that arcade feel and environment, and that's also. You can order food from Bitburger up until like 10 o'clock or something. They have the same menu. And it's just like, it's awesome.
I highly recommend it. Bitburger was great. They had great smash burgers.
Super
Stuff from the
80s memorabilia,
80s, yeah.
like everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it.
The only place that I haven't
We
been.
should do that and then an escape room.
I'd do it. I'd be down 100%.
That'd be amazing.
The only place I haven't
would
been
work,
that's
yeah.
sort of associated with Bitburger and Token is the Space Bar.
We've been to the space.
It's
Bar.
You've been there.
Isn't that in between?
I
Yeah,
think
kind
it
of.
is,
I know
Yeah.
that. I'm pretty sure it's right next to Token,
Yeah.
and then Bitburger's like further down.
Space Bar is a bit more lounge vibe in the fact that you have to book ahead of time because it's a very small space.
It
compared
looked
to the other
closed.
locations.
Like it only did open for.
It's open. It's just blacked out. Like because when you
Gotcha.
go in there, it is the most heavily themed of the three places. You have to walk in, give your name. They give you your boarding pass
Because you're on the Millennium Falcon or
You're
something.
in
yeah.
a spaceship. Yeah, all of the drinks are themed after different sci-fi series.
Like our friend Georgia has been there, and she sent me a picture, and like whatever she ordered, they served it to her in a robot.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she ordered like an appetizer, and like a robot hands it to her, on a plate. Like,
It's wild. It's so cool. And they have the windows blacked out because on all the walls they have like readouts and
Of course.
screens, and there's like the menu is lit up by like a little thing that looks like the blue cube from the Marvel movies.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Tesseract.
It did. So you said you have to book it in advance.
Yes.
Like you can't just show up and
No.
get in.
No. It is by reservation only.
and it's only
I'll
like
never
Fridays
go.
and Saturdays too, isn't it? Or it's limited. It's not open every night, right?
I don't know about that,
We'll look that up on
Yeah, we'll
Google.
figure it out.
but
I
it's,
know-
it's a very cool experience.
But and I will say, if anybody's thinking about trying one of these places, like Bitburger's open, I think 7 days, and Token's open like 7 days, and it's just they do great, man. They have like Token has the best probably pinball selection. I mean, there've been some what do you call barcades
Yeah.
in Knoxville where there's like a bar
Yacht
with
club.
a couple yacht club or like Suttrie's or what like they have. But really, this is like next level.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
they really do
Token's
have like
it.
way more pinball games.
Instead of hipster, This is like dedicated to the nerds.
This is motherfucking real video game nerd.
Like Mario Kart, Rocket League, all over the screen.
And it's also one of these places where anywhere you sit, if there's not a video game right next to you to play, you can ask for a controller and literally play it on the wall in front of. They're all over the ceiling. They're all over the wall.
And I don't think they charge either to play the games.
Don't.
It's just if it's open, you can play it.
Now, some of the games you do have to buy tokens.
Yeah, like pinball machines and stuff.
Which
they do have coin op.
In Bitburger, it's all free apparently.
Well, I think on some days, again, if anybody's listening, please Google this. But I think maybe on like Tuesdays, it's like free pinball. At Token, and I know they do trivia, and they have all these themed.
If you follow them on Instagram, they post every time they do a themed trivia night. And we did, was it Nightmare Before Christmas trivia once? We did terrible, but it was fun.
Yeah,
and they lean really hard into the theme.
When their decorations are crazy too. Like I remember the first time I ever saw Substance was with you guys, but the second time I saw it, I was down here recording, I think with our friend Georgia, and like. I was like, "Do you want to?" I was telling her about it. I was like, "You've got to see it. You've got to see it. It's crazy. It's crazy." She goes, "Well, let's hit Token real quick and then go to the theater." And I go, "Okay, let's go." We went in there and it was like, I want to say their Halloween was like Scooby-Doo themed. And then there's like Jurassic, but there's just anytime you fucking go in there, there's like dinosaurs and giant inflatable characters. And it's just the best. It's really, really cool bar. So again, there's a lot of cool bars to go to downtown, a lot of good places to stop and get a cocktail. But if you're on the west side of Knoxville, I highly recommend checking out Token and Bitburger. Like, it's just a bunch of really well-run businesses that do good, you know?
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I love the silence that we keep hitting.
Do we want to tease what Burn the City's doing in February?
No.
Or, I don't know.
What do you mean?
You're talking about the Keith?
Yeah.
We need to absolutely just discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tease it.
Yeah, come see fucking Burn the City with Keith Wallen at Open Chord.
Tease me, Daddy.
The day after Super Bowl. Please come see Burn the City on February 10th at Open Chord.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, and if you're listening to this podcast right now, in my hand, I am holding a stack of tickets to the show that you can get from us.
Is it on a weeknight at 11 p.m.?
No, it's on a Monday. Well, it's a Monday night at 8. 7 p.m.
Well, yeah, doors at 7.
7 p.m.
You guys, I want to go to a Burn the City show. You need to start doing weekends.
Yeah, we did a couple.
We did, it was...
But this
we don't pick the dates.
Here's the thing: is you guys always text me that Burn the City has a show, and I want to go so bad. The only problem is I have to wake up at 4 a.m. on weekdays, and so like when you're like we go on at 8, I'm like, bro, I'm
going out at 8.
I'm about to take a dump and go to bed at 8.
And we understand that that's a case for a lot. Originally, Keith had this scheduled for Sunday, February 9th, but that's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not doing a show that night because everybody's going to watch that. So anyway, he moved it one day, and we're playing at...
It's going to be so good.
I mean, we're looking forward to it. He's coming straight off the tour with 10 years, and they were all just... By the way, shout out to Keith here. I got to talk about this. They were all just on the Shiprock tour together. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but they had Keith come up, and there was like a band with all these all-star musicians from different various bands, and they had him come up and sing In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. And
Amazing.
Also on stage with them was the drummer for King's X, one of our mutual favorite bands, and Brandon Lee's, bands have been right behind Keith playing In the Air Tonight.
That's awesome.
On Shiprock. So like so much momentum going in, and now he's back with 10 years touring, opening for them. And also, if you don't remember, Keith was the first ever official guest on this podcast way back. He's also...
Episode 4 or
What a
something.
good episode, too. That was so much fun.
Good episode. And he's also the guitarist for Breaking Benjamin. You may have heard of them. And he's going to have little old Burn the City open for him.
Breaking Benjamin. Is that like a new band? Why are they Breaking Benjamin? Are they
He's just
breaking
so
him
cold,
in
dude.
or
Cold, so cold.
He's so cold.
I cannot
put me to
tell
sleep,
you
evil angel?
how old I feel when I mention Breaking Benjamin at work, because
Edit.
all of my kids, all of the kids who work
I
for
love
me,
the youngest person's telling us how she feels old.
I just turned 30. I can feel it if I want to.
No.
All
Yeah,
of the
I
kids who
don't
work
think
for me,
so.
I'm like, have you heard of Breaking Benjamin? And they're like, no.
I heard it on 103.5 Classic Rock. Why?
Yeah. They're like, did they open for Chapel Roan? Oh my gosh. But anyway, if you do know who we're talking about, please come. And also Keith is just a phenomenal
Gross.
talent.
And if you don't know who we're talking about, look them up. You should know.
Yeah, or just come see Burn the City and then hang around to see this rock star that goes on right after us. He's a fucking visionary. He's a Knoxville legend.
Yep.
And
Incredible.
he's always been extremely kind to all of us and Burn the City and Beacon House.
Wasn't it an original band, Copper?
Copper.
Yep.
Yeah,
There was
okay.
a band of massive influence in Knoxville called Copper, and Keith was the singer-songwriter for them too. So he's a good guy. And
Very talented.
very, very talented, and also extremely sweet and thoughtful, and doesn't have crazy rock star ego or whatever. Like, he's just the greatest guy, and it's going to be an amazing show. And it's also Burn the City's we've been trying to get into open chord for God knows how
Ever.
long.
Yeah.
And now we're in, final thanks to Keith. So please come
So
out.
exciting.
It's not a late show. Again, I understand people have to get up at 4 a.m. Maybe this isn't the one for you. But
Listen, I'm an outlier for sure. I don't know if everybody's having to get up at 4 a.m.
But if people are thinking about going, Keith, this show is heavily expected to sell out because he's a hometown hero. He's in a really big famous band. He's coming off tour with 10 years, another band of hometown heroes.
They didn't have breathing room at the last show he did.
Exactly.
So.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Please wear your Burn the City shirt.
Yeah, do it.
Please help us dispel that myth that you're not supposed to wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. Bullshit.
Yeah, do it.
Bands need your support, and the Burn the City
I think I
shirt.
still have my Burn the City
Bring
shirt.
the comic, bring the CD, any of the
Please.
stuff you have.
Can I
just,
wear my
hold it up.
fan-made one?
You can
Yes.
wear whatever you want. And we understand if you don't feel, if your shirt's dirty or whatever, or you lost it.
You
But
said-
if you've got it, we would love to see at the Keith Wallen show a whole bunch of those bright blue Burn the City shirts. Please, it would give us a boost of confidence.
I think mine's black with like a Godzilla design on it.
Yeah,
But I got
they're
a
great.
Brickyard
You need
Patchy
one
shirt.
of these
Classic.
new ones, my friend.
Do you have one?
There's a whole bunch right
Yeah,
over
we have
there.
a
We'll
whole
fix that
bunch.
right after this.
All right. Quick question though. You said you guys start at what time?
7.
7. What time do you guys go on?
I think 8,
I think it's 8.
but it could be
you'll
earlier.
And you'll be on for
30. Well, I'll go 35
just
minutes.
say-
35 minutes. I'm just.
I- no,
you
I-
can cut this out if you want to.
No,
I'm
our
just-
set is 35.
No,
It's really
yeah.
is 35. And
put me
full
down-
disclosure.
Put me down for 2 tickets.
Okay.
Okay.
Right
Heck
here.
yeah.
Full disclosure. At this show, our lovely and our brother Brandon Lee, our drummer, our favorite drummer of all time, is going to be out of town. Like, he already had plans to go and do something really important. Actually, to meet one of his
Loser.
idols. No, he's going to see and hang out with Dream Theater. So we're actually
Sounds made up.
we're having a stand-in drummer for this show.
Like a
I don't know if
cardboard
anybody knows
cutout.
this yet. We're having a hired gun come in.
Oh.
And it is none other than Andy Campbell.
Oh, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
of Beacon House podcast fame. He plays with Stacked Actors and our brother Brandon Hudson. He plays in Smooth Sailor. He plays in Skank Banger. He plays in every local cover band that's worth it. He was on the Shiprock tour with Keith recently. I mean, that's our boy.
So what you're telling me is that the drums actually might not be as loud as they would be when Brandon's there, and
don't
I
know.
might be able to handle it. I
They
might be able to
might-
actually enjoy live music for the first time ever.
They might be louder.
Thanks a lot,
We don't
Brandon.
know. We don't know. But it's going to be a lot of fun because Keith and Andy know each other, and so
We're
you know.
rehearsing with Andy soon because of this, so it'll be. I'll let you know how many sticks he breaks at practice.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah.
determine.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait.
But it's definitely going to be a very completely a Burn the City show, unlike any you've ever seen. So please come if you can. We've got some tickets left, and I think there's still some available online. But
Yes.
buy
Two
these,
less now, but yeah,
get these if you can.
Yeah,
So
And,
exciting.
and let's do the damn thing, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
February 10th, Monday. Be there.
Open chord.
7
B
p.m.
square.
Be square too.
Have your Nosferatu mustache on. Stand near the front.
If you show up with a Magnum PI, you get 5% off Burn the City merch.
That's if you show up with either the Nosferatu like crazy porn stash, or if you show up and throw the sloth hand from the horror classic Slaughterhouse.
Sloth hand only gets you 3%, but it's well earned.
What if I show up in the entire get up from Psycho Gorman?
I mean, you can have the
You can
whole
be on
merch.
stage. Do you
Yeah.
just want to come on stage?
All right, perfect.
Base
You
banana
can have
returns.
the entire fucking merch booth for that.
No.
You should wear the shades though. Wear the base banana shades.
I mean, Psycho Gorman is right there with Slaughterhouse. It's a classic.
I'm still waiting for you guys to cover a Linkin Park song so I can come on and do Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I can do his stuff.
We're all waiting for them to cover many different songs.
That's true.
I've thrown out
Including
so many
us.
songs, and
Including us.
Yeah.
We've thrown out a lot of songs.
If the band doesn't listen to me, they definitely don't listen to me. as soon
well,
as I-
partially because you said let's cover Creed, and come on now.
Can it
also
be?
like
Can
the-
it be the 6 feet from the edge?
Yeah, see, I want to cover like a Creed song that makes sense for us, but I think
Yeah.
that's exactly where they go. They go that song and Arms Wide Open. That's
Hunter, you
not
know what
I
you
wanna
should do? Is you should write a Creed song and then reword, like just change little things about it.
They
but
won't
just
know.
They
won't know.
They won't know. Just keep it in.
You're brilliant.
Yeah.
Buckle up, buddy.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Hey,
like,
if it's good, maybe I'll turn into a Creed fan.
Hold me down. I'm 8 feet from this ledge. They're like, man, that's deep, Hunter.
I feel like I've heard this somewhere. Sure nobody else wrote this? All right, let's go.
Show up to do the cover song in a fishnet t-shirt.
That's
still
when
need
Randy
shiny
would quit
pants.
the band.
No, well.
My God. Incredible.
Every now and then when I'm feeling bad about myself, I just pull up that Dallas Cowboys halftime show that Creed did with the like tightrope swingers, and they're just like floating through the sky, and people are like, "What in the hell?"
Oh man, that's something. Probably not going to be doing any Creed anytime soon in Burn the City. But you know what? You never know. Follow along for more details, friends.
It's going to be awesome.
Anything's possible with this lineup. So, look, guys, we're getting kind of long. This has been a fabulous 200th episode. Thank you guys so much for coming back, and thanks everybody for listening. And if we see you at the show on February 10th, we would love to. If not, please follow Juan Beacon House going in the future. Casey, what's up?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can I come back now?
You can come back anytime, buddy.
No, I mean like. Can I come back now?
You
like
can
fully.
Anytime you want. You're free any. Oh, I mean, we don't have a schedule anymore, but anytime you want to be back on. Yeah, you're in.
Okay.
Anytime.
You've been here the whole time.
He's just really tired of using the voice changer.
I just want to be myself again.
I don't know. Sometimes it might be nice for you to dress up like Grace.
Well, that's how we found out the anti-vaxxer was actually going to become the head of HHS.
Hunter, I was talking to you. I love the way you look in a dress. I don't.
I do.
Oh, my.